Hi everyone, welcome back to EarthStar Tarot. Today we are looking at whether your person will reach out and make a move. So maybe you're in a no contact situation, maybe you have ongoing energies with someone who maybe seems slow to respond or get going. And so we're looking at whether they will reach out and make a move. And so I've already pre-pulled some cards for each of the piles and their person, and then some connecting energies between each pile and their person as well. And then we'll move into tarot, and I think we will pull the Sacred Rebel card at the end to close it out for some advice. So without further ado, we'll move on to the piles. I am looking forward to it. See you in the readings. Hi Pile 1, welcome to your reading. So we've got some cards here that we will be pulling for you and your person, so you and your person. And we'll continue on. Let's see, we'll just pull out all the cards and then we can begin the conversation. So let's move these over just a little. And then so we've got cards, let's see, that was for you, that was for your person. And then we've got one more card for you and your person. Let's reverse these and put them symmetrical. And the third, this was for you, and then this was for your person. And so this is a bit of an energy check-in, and then we've got connecting energies between the three of you as well, but we'll come to those. Oh, sorry, between the two of you. I've recorded a few tarot readings today, and my brain may be getting a little soupy. Okay, so let's start here. So we've got Armadillo for your energies. And so I will refer to the guidebook for these. So Armadillo upright is about boundaries. Armadillo wears its armor on its back, its medicine a part of its body. Its boundaries of safety are a part of its total being. Armadillo can roll into a ball and never be penetrated by enemies. What a gift it is to set your boundaries so that harmful words or intentions just roll off. Your lesson is in setting up what you are willing to experience. If you do not wish to experience feeling invaded, just call in Armadillo medicine. If Armadillo has waddled into the cards you chose, it is time to define your space. You may have been too willing to let your home become a bus station. You may find that you cannot say no, even when you know you will have to cancel plans to be obliging. This can get old in a hurry. Ask yourself the following questions. 1. Am I honoring the time I need for my personal enjoyment? 2. Do others treat me like a doormat? 3. Why do I always get upset when I'm taken for granted? 4. Is there a reason for my being a yes person? All these questions relate to setting up boundaries, what you will and won't do, what makes you feel uncomfortable, and what is comforting to you. How you react in any circumstance has to do with your ability to be objective. You can't be objective if you cannot tell where the other person's personality stops and where yours begins. If you have no boundaries, you're like a sponge. It will seem as if all the feelings in a room full of people must be yours. Ask yourself if you are really feeling depressed, or if this feeling actually belongs to the person you are talking to. That's a very important lesson, and funny, I was just talking about that yesterday, how maybe I pulled this card in the past and began to be more perceptive about when you feel, sometimes you walk into a room. I actually used the example of depression and walking into a room. I was thinking of going into an art gallery one time, and just having this sudden feeling of feeling alienated, depressed, hopeless, and then wandering from that room to the next room, into the next room of art, and suddenly the feeling lifted. And it hadn't been there before I walked into the first room, and it wasn't there when I walked into the second room. And it might have been after pulling this card, and I just had a sudden clear knowledge that that was not my feeling, that I was picking up on somebody else's energy in that room. And I think that's the first time I remember knowing that as clearly and consciously as I did in that moment. And so, that happens. I think I'm a believer that it happens to all of us. But you have to be aware that that's a thing that can happen before you can perceive it. So this might be a call to increase awareness about that, or, a reminder to be aware of that. And then it says, then allow Armadillo's armor to slice in between, giving you back your sense of self. So if that's resonating with you, then You might be in the right pile. We're going to go over to hummingbird now, and then we'll move on to these and then these. And so for your person, we've got hummingbird. Hummingbirds, I used to think of hummingbirds as the bird of love, or as, you know, an indication of love. And then my partner, actually, at the time, pointed out that hummingbirds are quite scrappy, and they're very territorial. We had a lot of them on our property, and, you know, we used to set up hummingbird feeders, and they're lovely to watch and have around for humans, but for each other, they're just really quite, you know, they're always sort of at war with each other. They just are very territorial, and, you know, what I thought was like loving little moments of the hummingbirds dancing together in the sky. Turns out that they were like, you know, at least according to my partner, who knows. But in this book, they're associated with joy. So hummingbird is associated with the ghost shirt religion, which taught that a certain dance done properly would bring about the return of the animals, and that colonizers would disappear. In Mayan teachings, hummingbird is connected to the black sun in the fifth world. Hummingbird can give us the medicine to solve the riddle of the contradiction of duality. The song of hummingbird awakens the medicine flowers. I actually had a vision once that this card in particular resonated with that description of the ghost shirt religion and the dance. I was traveling across Canada with a different ex-partner, just as a young adult, and we kept driving, and then the rain would catch up with us, and it would pour rain all night. It was like we were traveling across the country with a rain cloud, with a storm cloud. It's been quite stormy today, actually, so that's interesting. And then anyway, so then at night, the storm would catch up with us, and it would just pound rain all night. And I was doing a meditation at the time, and like a daily meditation that I had committed to doing every day, and I had this very, very intense vision while we were camping in the plains of Alberta one night, and it kind of had to do with that. I'll just sort of leave it at that for now, but it's kind of a personal story, and it's a little bit sad, really. Not personally sad, but it kind of defined my life path from that point forward. But anyway, it was interesting to read about it right here in this book, in connection with hummingbird. So, okay, let's go back here. Kind of rambling on personal stories. I've been told that I need to kind of personalize my readings a bit, so hopefully this is doing it and is interesting rather than just distracting rambles. Okay, the song of hummingbird awakens the medicine flowers. Hummer sings a vibration of pure joy. Flowers love hummingbird because nectar sucking brings about the reproduction of their families. Plants flower and live because of hummingbird. Hummingbird can fly in any direction, up, down, backward, and forward. Hummingbird can also hover in one spot and appear to be motionless. Great Spirit called hummingbird to be slightly different from other feathered creatures. They've been used for a millennium in the making of love charms. They conjure love as no other medicine does, and the feathers are said to open the heart. Without an open and loving heart, you can't taste the nectar and pure bliss of life. For hummingbird, life is a wonderland of delight, darting from one beautiful flower to another, tasting the essences and radiating the colors. If hummingbird is your personal medicine, you love life and its joys. Your presence brings joy to others. You join people together in relationships which bring out the best in them. You know instinctively where beauty abides, and, near and far, you journey to your ideal. You move comfortably within a beautiful environment and help others taste the succulent nectar of life. If hummingbird has flown into your cards, get ready to laugh musically and enjoy Creator's many gifts. Drop your judgmental attitude and relax. Never be coarse in front of hummingbird, for this is a fragile medicine which may have no understanding of worldly affairs. Beauty is the target, and hummingbird's mission is to spread joy or to be destroyed. Hummingbird quickly dies if caged, caught, or imprisoned. Okay, so that was meant to be the energy of your person, so your person might be perhaps a bit fragile, but also full of joy and able to seek joy in different contexts. And then for armadillo we had the setting of boundaries. And so then we've got the Starseed Oracle next. And I should say that if these things are not resonating with you and your person, then feel free to choose a different pile. Never feel like you have to continue with a pile if it's not resonating. If you have to stretch to make it fit, then it might not be your pile, or not today, or but if that is resonant, did you hear that thunder? Oh, it's happening again. I love storms. It's been very stormy the last day and a bit, or just under a day rather. Okay, weight of the world, boundaries. Oh, interesting. Boundaries, let it go. It's not yours to carry. You don't need to carry it all. You're no good to anyone if you're running on empty and bogged down by the weight of the world. This card is a reminder to look after your own well-being before anyone else's. To stop carrying the world's problems on your shoulders, put on your own oxygen mask first. You can't take on problems from a place of energetic depletion. This card is thanking you for caring so much. You want to build a better world and ease the road for others, and that's incredible. But the way you've been doing it is likely unsustainable. Don't switch off the world's problems and become unconscious. Rather, establish clear boundaries so you're not constantly taken out energetically. The planet needs you to be healthy, both physically and physically and emotionally. Instead of digesting the news or reaching for your phone as soon as you wake up, show up first to a nourishing practice such as meditation, soul inquiry, deep breathing, or exercising in nature. Once you're in a state of grace and your inner well is full, you can face the day, the state of the world, and care for others. And at the day's end, take an energetic shower by emptying out anything that's not yours to carry. You can pick it up again the next morning if you so choose, but give yourself time and space to rejuvenate and rest. What are you carrying that isn't even yours? For your person, we've got double mission. I should hold these all both up for you. Here's weight of the world. And then double mission. We've got Lightworker Starseed, serve the world by being you. Lightworker Starseeds are mission and purpose oriented. Many have the feeling that time's running out and there's something they came here to do, create, or contribute. They're here to grow as souls individually, individual mission, and also to contribute to the planet in some action-oriented way, collective mission. Their collective mission is often answered through a career calling or by devoting their life to something bigger. Until they remember their collective mission, it can feel as if something's missing or that they're forgetting something important. It's common for Lightworker Starseeds to feel that they're different, and they may carry soul memories of being visible or sharing their voice. As such, they may protect themselves by dimming their light in order to fit in, or by spending time in some sort of closet, such as a spiritual closet. If you pull this card, you're being called to remember your collective mission and step into it even more fully. You're being reminded that your role as a lightworker is to light up the world with your presence. This doesn't have to be a great big thing or a decision you need to make. You also don't need to have a great big plan. If you resonate with being a lightworker, all you need to do is work out what lights you up, your passions and joys, and keep doing that. When you trust and follow the simple path of things that light you up, and then lose yourself in the doing, you'll light up the world without even trying. How can you serve the world by being you? I should also say that it might be that you see your person over here and yourself over here. You know, things can flip-flop, but my intention was for this to be you, for this to be your person. And also, you know, in some connections there can be mirroring, so it might be that some things are true of both of you. It might feel resonant in both ways. Gambler was the next card for you. Light attribute, willingness to follow intuition, even when others doubt you. The shadow attribute is relying on luck rather than hard work. And so this, I had the sense that this came out upside down, but by the time it was in my hands, it was right side up, so I'm going with right side up on that one. So willingness to follow intuition even when others doubt you. For your person, we have warrior in reverse. Light attributes are strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will. Heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice in conquering the ego. Oops, sorry. Did you see the other one? Perhaps I was not holding it in the right place. Okay, and shadow attributes. Trading ethical principles for victory at any cost. Indifference to the suffering inflicted on others. So victory and indifference. So this might be a person who is prioritizing joy and, you know, good times, who feels like they have a mission, but maybe they're not totally connected to that mission yet, who is perhaps trading in indifference when it comes to other people. And so, maybe that might be related to not having connected to their mission yet. That doesn't mean that, it's something that you need to engage with if it's not working for you, of course. You will know if that applies to you. And let's look at the light attributes again. Strength, skill, discipline, toughness of will, heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice and conquering the ego. And I mean, those are beautiful light attributes, and, hopefully that's what the shadow gets turned into over time. But, as people say, you don't want to be falling in love with someone's potential, right? So the potential might be there, but in any event, it looks like this person's able to bring joy to others, and maybe that is their mission, and maybe they need to connect in with the ability to bring that joy in different spaces. And in order to do that, I would think that they would have to have an awareness of suffering. It might seem like joy and suffering are contradictory energies, and maybe this person is sort of being in the joy side of things and ignoring the suffering in order to keep their vibration high, or the sort of what is that called, a spiritual indifference. There's a word for it, I'm blanking on it right now. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, and if you don't, I will think of it and blurt it out when I do think of it. Okay, and so then on this side we've got willingness to follow intuition even when others doubt you, but also a strong need to set boundaries is what I'm seeing here. And then for connecting energies, we've got 12th house, we've got the Empress in reverse, and we've got the last straw. So I'm just going to look up the 12th house. I can ramble about this while I look. God, it's happening again. I just keep finding in these readings that I'm throwing myself under the bus. I never have negative self-talk, and it's I just referred to myself as rambling, and it's not rambling when I actually know about a subject. Okay, so the 12th house says introspection there, and this is suggestive of these chakras, of course, so root, sacral, solar plexus, what is that called? Manipura. Wow, my knowledge of the chakra words has faded, but in any event, that's the heart chakra, throat, third eye, crown. This was sort of the anus, perineum area with the base chakra. Sacral is the sex organs. Manipura is the navel. And so this is stability and roots. This is creativity and, that sort of passionate love for life, sexual passion, fecundity, fertility, everything that generates. So generating an art project, generating a human, generating, the connection to the draw between people that brings them together. Manipura is willpower and the drive to carry out goals, and these three have to be balanced before you can even move into the rest of them. Otherwise, if you just jump right to the heart chakra energies without balancing the first three, there's going to be no stability to carry that energy. And then so the heart chakra is about opening and giving love, receiving love, being open to giving and receiving. Throat chakra energies are about communication, speaking your truth, showing your gifts to the world. Third eye is about visions, esoteric knowledge, psychic knowledge, intuition. Crown chakra is about being connected to the universe and energies beyond the physical body. Okay, and so it's interesting that these are all summed up in the 12th house here. It's quite an interesting, essentially it's saying that the 12th house is the sum of all of the parts, I guess. And so, but the 12th house as I know it, and the word was introspection, and that 12th house as I know it is the house of hidden knowledge. It would be sort of the intuition, maybe these energies more than anything. Hidden knowledge, subconscious, unconscious, intuition, but it can also refer to things like institutions, so prisons, schools, psychiatric institutions, hospitals. Those are all ruled by the 12th house as well. Those are obviously not what this card is attempting to refer to. Hidden, mysteries, that would be kind of more 8th house, I guess, but anything that is not conscious would fall under 12th house. So 12th house is a connecting energy. Might suggest that there's a connection between you that is either not totally conscious or that is drawing on energies that are beyond. Let's just see what the write-up says and we'll go from there. because while I know all about the 12th house, I don't know what this deck in particular is intending to pick out with that. 9th house, 12th house. Or why it's referring to it as introspection, which would not be my read on the 12th house astrologically, but I can see how they would get there. The 12th house would be a quiet place on the village map. After sunrise, time for prayer and meditation, dreaming your deepest dreams. Oh yes, dreams as well. Inner child's world containing both the fairyland into which you might escape and the monsters that live under your bed. That's a good summary, actually. Action. Introspect. The situation is complex, so learn what's going on behind the scenes before you act. Look for private motives, hidden enemies. Oh yes, hidden enemies is 12th house. And surprise angels. Take time alone to develop an idea or listen within. The 12th house speaks of both who you are when no one's looking and the fact that your fate is inextricably linked to every other sentient being. Work with this metaphor. We are all cells in the body of the divine. It's essential that you take care of yourself, your individual cell, and honor who you are, but you must also acknowledge that you work within an organism, i.e. your family and culture, which operates within the body of all creation. Both realities are clear and true. You do exist independently, and you are part of the collective. It's just a perspective shift. It can be hard to find a healthy place between feeling subsumed by a group and dwelling in stunted isolation. The 12th house asks you to face those fears. In quiet moments of prayer, meditation, and creative bliss, feel that deep connection to the source and know you are not alone. Okay, so there might be, I feel like that's pulling out the connection between the 12th house and spirituality. So in a relationship context, like in an connection energies, 12th house might be referring to having a spiritual connection with someone. So it might be that your connection is very much on the spiritual level, rather than something that's like manifest in the 3D. So I don't know if this is someone that you feel connected to in the 3D. I mean, obviously you do if you're accessing this reading, but I mean, it might be something that that is more in the spiritual realm than in the 3D. I want to say. I'm just looking for the Antique Anatomy. So this is the Antique Anatomy deck. It's pretty cool, in my opinion. It's all skeletons. And this is the Empress. We put the Empress upside down. And I don't think this book has reversals, but I also like seeing what it has to say about Empress gives you as warmth, beauty, motherly love. Beauty, abundance, potential. Okay, so we need a reverse, which I refer to my cheat sheet. Insecurity, infertility, lack of confidence, lack of growth, disharmony, creative block, dependence on others, losing own willpower and strength due to placing too much effort and concern on other people's affairs, overgiving, lack of self-worth, possible clinginess, or lack of progress in work or love. And feeling insecure. Okay, so I'm seeing here that there might be a person who is dwelling in the energies of joy, or who appears from your perspective, let's say, since this is all from your perspective, to be dwelling in the energies of joy, and that perhaps you're trying to give of yourself to that person, and there's a need for you to be setting boundaries. So this is, you might be making it all about this person when you need to be focusing more on you. And so that may be a part of the connecting energies between you. There might be some childhood patterning or unconscious sort of programs that are playing out where you feel like you have to give and give and give, even though perhaps this person is not giving back. Sorry, where was I looking? So indifference to the suffering inflicted on others. So maybe this person is, sort of in their joy, but they're not giving back to you. That's what I'm seeing here. And then we pulled the last straw, which this is a new deck, so I'm just going to refer to the book as well. When it's the last straw, quite literally, the straw that broke the camel's back, drawing the short straw. It's time to face the music. When you pull this card, you are ready for the truth, ready to roll up your sleeves and dig in, ready to face your own personal Monday. So it seems like there's work to do here in the connecting energies between you. And that work might be your personal work of setting boundaries. It might be interpersonal work of setting boundaries. It might be interpersonal work, or I think you need to tune into your intuition for guidance. But insofar as the cards have something to say about it, it seems like there's a need to focus on yourself and what you need in the connection. That's what I'm seeing here. And I don't know if you can hear that thunder, but it's rolling through. I so much love it. Okay, so that's the energies between you, and now we're going to pull some tarot for where to take it next. Where can we put your interconnecting energies? We'll sort of put them to one side here. Put that over there. And so for today, I was going to pull the Antique Anatomy Tarot, but quite frankly, it's got different suits, and I'm a little bit worried in my neophyte tarot knowledge that that will throw off my confidence. Even though I know all the cards upright, I was, having a look at them before I started the reading, and I just decided I know them, but I don't want to be sort of questioning myself in the middle of a reading regarding whether I'm right. Wands can look like swords, for example. So anyway, here we go. We've got the Mushroom Tarot. So please tune me into pile 1, Spirit. Using the Mushroom Tarot, we're looking at, will they reach out or make a move? So pile 1, please tune me into pile 1's person. Will they reach out or make a move? Got the Queen of Wands. Just going to do a little bit more of a shuffle in this. Like, the proper shuffle is necessary to get all the cards in the proper upright versus reverse position. Oh my goodness, you hear the thunder? I love it. I don't see any lightning out there, but it is daytime still. But it's coming. It's like latter days of August. And things start to get quite chilly at night here where I live in the southwest tip of Canada. Got 9 of Swords. And, but it's still hot in the days usually, but today it's just been stormy. Right, there's a lot of people I know who are camping this weekend, and I was supposed to be camping this weekend, so. Got 2 of Wands in reverse. Decided to mix it up with the Mushroom Tarot, even though I do feel like it kind of takes extra time because it's, there's mushrooms to look into as well as just the tarot meanings. I can tell you about the Queen of Wands, and I can tell you about the 9 of Swords, and I can even tell you 2 of Wands in reverse. But what I can't tell you is what each of those mushrooms means without referring to the guidebook. But anyway, it's a stormy day. It felt like a Mushroom Tarot kind of day. The Star, we're going to take one more. And so, will they reach out and make a move? Pile 1, will they reach out and make a move? What have we got? We've got 3 of Wands in reverse. Now we're going to get some clarifiers. So please have a clarifier for pile 1 for the Queen of Wands. Clarifier for the Queen of Wands. I just saw something poking out there. A whole series of them. You all get back in your pile there. Little mushies. Little mushies. Oh my. Okay, let's try that again. Oh no, more. It's like half of them are facing the wrong direction. However did I do that? What have I done? One second. Oh my goodness, it's like all the way down. Alright, I might just give this another shuffle because it looks like a bunch of cards ended up the wrong way. So let's just give this another shuffle because I feel like I just consciously interfered with which direction they were facing. So let's let them realign to pile 1. Will they reach out and make a move? Pile 1's person. Will pile 1's person reach out and make a move? Will they come out of that 12th house energy and reach out? Okay, clarifier for the Queen of Wands for pile 1, please. Will they reach out and make a move? Clarifying the Queen of Wands. Five of Swords. clarifying the Nine of Swords. Got Justice. That is a scary looking mushroom, holy. Y'all see that? I don't know what's going on there. That's not a mushroom I'd want to cross. Old Man of the Woods. Can we get a clarifier for the Two of Wands reverse, please? Clarifier for the Two of Wands in reverse. Clarifier for the Two of Wands in reverse. Clarifier for the Two of Wands in reverse. Got the Empress. We love her. Which is Hen of the Woods. Old Man of the Woods and Hen of the Woods side by side. Clarifier for the Star, please. Not that the Star needs any clarification. She just shines. Golden Meishi for that one. Clarifier for the Star, please. I've got Strength. And clarifier for the Three of Wands. Clarifier for the Three of Wands. Clarifier for the Three of Wands. The Pile One's person, will they reach out and make a move? Clarifier for the Three of Wands. I feel guilty when the cards don't jump out right away. Sometimes they really do, and sometimes they really do not. Sometimes they jump out and go back in. And if it's obvious, you know, then I'll take it. But that was like three of them jumping out at once and then going back in. Oh my goodness. Okay, that was a lot of cards. I think I'm going to put this back and let them come out again if they want to. Because that was way too many cards. Three of Wands, clarifying the Three of Wands. Will Pile One's person reach out and make a move? It is starting to rain. Will Pile One's person reach out and make a move? Will Pile One's person reach out and make a move? Whoa. Oh my goodness. Sorry, maybe it's more entertaining if I shuffle on camera. Come on now. Okay. If this doesn't come out soon, I'm going to cut the deck and pick a card. The Pile One's person reach out and make a move, clarifying the Three of Wands. Let's go with that. Got Page of Swords in reverse. And the Three of Pentacles in reverse kind of came out with it, so we'll take that too. And on the bottom of the deck, see, I am learning, we've got Judgment in reverse. So we'll put that up there. Alright, let's get into it. Okay, so the Queen of Wands. I'm just going to go with the tarot readings of these. I'll refer to the mushrooms if I feel like I need more information. So Queen of Wands. Wow, I'm amazed at the thunder. I hope you can hear that. You can probably hear it about as clearly as you can hear me, given this quality of my microphone. Okay, Queen of Wands in reverse with the Five of Swords modifying. So the Queen of Wands is social energy. It's sort of it's a charismatic person, very connected, very confident, carries herself with assurance, just kind of has social things on lock, is able to sort of network between people or groups of people, social butterfly energies, of any gender, of course. And then the Five of Swords energy is the energy of kind of like an ego battle. So somebody who's determined to win at all costs. Why don't we look at the mushroom for that one? Orange birch bullet. See if that can add some illumination, because I'd say these are very different energies. So let's see. No-win situation, conflict perspective. Avoid being caught in a no-win situation. Not all battles need to be fought. Try to see the situation from all sides. Learn to engage as partners as a team, not as enemies. Battles fought valiantly can still end in failure. The orange birch bullet is at the mercy of foragers and snails alike. Though its damaged flesh may turn black, accentuating sustained injuries, it continues to endure defiantly and glow with beautiful autumnal colors. Yeah, so I don't know, maybe there's an inclination in your person with that hummingbird energy as well. Maybe your person is a bit of a social butterfly, and it's possible that they're feeling like maybe they need to rein that in, or that there's something that is not working in that situation within the connection between you. Trying to think of what Queen of Wands would be. Charismatic, vivacious, optimistic, hardworking, great success, social adeptness, quick thinking makes the impossible possible, internal awareness of one's true self. Yeah, so it kind of seems like there's some kind of battle happening within this person regarding their tendency to be charming, I want to say. And they're maybe trying to be wise about how they choose their battles, or it's possible that they're, battling themselves, wondering if that hummingbird energy is supporting the connection, I want to say, or even if the connection is compatible with their Queen of Wands energy, perhaps. We've got the Nine of Swords, which is sort of worry, anxiety, nightmares. It's the card of anxiety. And then it's being modified by justice. So justice is sort of karma. It's reaping what you sow. Having your own actions sort of return to affect you in the future. So not necessarily in a bad way. If you've been kind and generous to people, then justice can bring that back your way as well. It can be the righting of a wrong. Let's see if I have any connection-specific notes on that one. Choices may have long-standing or far-reaching repercussions. So it might be that they're stressing about, what choice to make here, and knowing that that choice will have an effect on their future in a sustained way, and maybe on your future in a sustained way. Two of Wands is the card of planning, or sort of dealing with your own patterns in order to plan to make a move, and that's in reverse here. So it might be that this person is in fear of making a move towards you. They might be playing small. It may be that they see that there's something worth pursuing in this connection, but they don't feel like they're up for it, in the sense of it might require them to change in some way, and so rather than face that change and kind of step into the power of the connection, maybe they're sort of holding back out of fear. It might be that they've made plans that have fallen apart in terms of reaching out. They might not know what your reception of that would be. Playing it safe, avoiding risk. So I would say that this card suggests that they're not going to be reaching out, and we also have the Three of Wands in reverse as well, which kind of confirms that for me. Like they're not making plans to reach out anytime soon. But then we've got the Empress, and the Empress is the energies of, fertility, abundance. It's the card of the divine feminine. So it might be that Towards nature, beautiful love, beautiful emotions, beautiful feelings, abundant energy, natural abundance. Nothing compares to the Empress. Showering others with attention and care. So it may be that they just simply are not planning to go into those Empress energies in respect of this connection at this time. So, they're aware that those energies are present in the connection, but they're choosing not to go towards them, would be my reading here. They're choosing not to engage with those Empress energies that definitely are there, but they're choosing not to engage with them. So maybe the Empress is you, and they're not sure how to. Maybe they're overwhelmed by your amazingness, and so they're finding it difficult to, come towards you or make a plan, or there's something about that, abundance, nurturing abundance, that has sort of has thrown them for a loop and left them without knowing how to make that move towards you. With the star, we have the star is the card of wish fulfillment. It refers to things definitely working out, hope, renewal, inspiration, serenity, sort of unexpected assistance from, other immaterial energies, non-material energies, rejuvenation, faith, inspiration. It might be that they're having trouble letting go, despite not having a plan to come towards you, and that might be requiring some strength of them. So they might be feeling, that there's still something there for them, and they're having to bring some strength to understanding, what's going on here between the impulse not to go forward, but there's like some kind of strong impulse to, they're attracted to you. Let's say that. They do find you attractive, and there is a desire to go towards you, but they're not holding with that desire at this time. And then the Three of Wands confirms that for me over here in reverse, because the Three of Wands are the energies of, having made a plan, sort of going forward with the plan. And then in reverse, it would be lacking confidence, lacking self-esteem to carry out the plan, kind of being unstable in direction, needing some time to plan things out perhaps. And then modifying that, we've got the Page of Swords in reverse and the Three of Pentacles in reverse, and I'm definitely going to refer to the cheat sheet on those ones. Page of Swords in reverse. Blocked communication, delayed communication, possible pettiness or immaturity in communication, choosing not to put forth whatever energy they would have otherwise shared, slowing down to examine circumstances before communicating. And then we've got the Three of Pentacles as well, so there's definitely a slowdown happening with that Page of Swords in reverse. And then Three of Pentacles in reverse. Three of Pentacles is teamwork, and so it sort of suggests being alone in reverse, choosing to be alone, choosing to be in one's own energies, some kind of misalignment, disharmony, possibly remaining in the ego, could be staying in the ego, a lack of teamwork, possible conflict. And so I would say the answer to, are they coming towards you at this time, would be no. That doesn't mean it'll remain that way forever, but at the current time that seems to be the energies. But there are indications that that's hard for them, and that there's something that they're sort of working out for themselves. We've got Judgment in reverse. It's another one I'll have to see if I can find here. Unfinished lessons, self-doubt, ignoring, resisting the universe, failure to learn lessons. So underneath everything, the card at the bottom of the deck is sort of the energies kind of behind. It's like the 12th house, subconscious energies behind a situation. And so it's possible that there's some kind of, I'm getting the sense that this might be a failure to learn lessons over lifetimes. If that resonates, please take it. If not, don't worry about that. But it might be that this person maybe you've attempted to set boundaries with them, and maybe they took the boundaries personally and, sort of skedaddled in the other direction, sort of runner energy. There's something that they have not learned. They might be ignoring or resisting, this pull towards you. It could be, calling them very strongly, but they're still resisting it or just failing to heed, whatever signs, I want to say, that they're getting. And there might be something that's, sort of left over from, like, there might be a past life connection that is kind of playing out in this lifetime as some kind of immaturity, failure to learn lessons, or just even a lack of confidence in pursuing the connection. So, if this is somebody whose priority is to bring joy to people, it might also be that they're not sure that they can bring you joy. Maybe that's their measure of whether they should pursue a connection, is whether they're able to bring that joy to you. And if they're feeling like they can't do that, then maybe that's part of what that resistance is about. Let's pull the Sacred Rebel card and see if we can pull some kind of action. I mean, the action in these cards is usually go into your own energies and meditate. Because quite frankly. But that's why I decided to pull them out for this, because I think they can be quite helpful in terms of figuring out where to place focus in your own journey. So pile one, card for pile one, please. We've got The Word Wants to Be Written. That's a beautiful card. The Word Wants to Be Written, number 42. Let's have a look. You might have been taught that creativity is something you have to work hard to access, or that finding your life purpose is so difficult that you must search high and low for it. Yet, what you are is within you and wants to come out at every available opportunity. You don't have to struggle so much. It's more about allowing space for it to manifest and to let the energy flow. The real struggle is not in finding something, it's more about letting go of the idea that you need to search for the path in the first place. You see, the process of activating your life path is a natural one. The effort is in getting out of the way, not in making something happen. Just going to skip ahead here. This oracle brings you the message that what you are dreaming of or seeking to do, create, live, or manifest is actually very natural for you. That is why you want to do it. If you experience controlling or manipulative forces as you were growing up, which would have given you difficulties in setting boundaries, you would have found it hard to access your natural state at the time. You would have been too busy trying to adapt and get through the trials of childhood. When you finished navigating childhood and started to let go of who you were taught to be in order to become who you really are, you may have found your life path was not easily accessible. That's because your true and natural self is covered by layers of shame from the early conditioning that you had to be other than you are in order to win love or be acceptable. However, that natural self hasn't gone anywhere. It is still there within you. And this oracle brings you the guidance that you're now powerful enough to break the cycle. It's time to stop the shame and claim yourself in love instead. What you want to write, sing, dance, or become is you. It is natural. Drop your defenses, get into the grit, and confront the power that any old shaming has had over you. It's finished now. It is time for you to be naked with yourself, acknowledge how gorgeous you are, and get on with your work. Life is urging you to do so because the work wants to happen. What you want to create wants to be created. The word wants to be written. You just need to let go of any remnants of the past that have been in your way. Step firmly over them and on to your path. And here is the healing process if you want to screen capture that. All right, so what I'm seeing here is that this person is not coming towards you at this time. That, you're not wrong, that there's something between you, but they're not planning to make a move anytime soon. There's no communication happening. Something, whatever's happening on their side is very unconscious, I want to say. And, they're not aware that that's, causing you some grief, perhaps. But on your side, you need to set boundaries. And maybe you're setting boundaries not even with this person, but with yourself, about what you will allow, what energy you will allow into your own energy, what you're going to hold with. And it looks like there's something else that wants to be focused on at this time, and maybe that's why this connection is not happening to the extent that, that these cards might want it to. So, something else is going on within you, and the task at this point is to focus on generating whatever it is inside of you by getting out of your own self's way, so by surrendering, not by trying to figure out what it is you're supposed to be writing, for example, but just, carrying around a notebook and pen, let's say, or whatever your equivalent of that process would be, and, like a drawing book and a pencil, or, your phone with the ability to record a voice memo whenever inspiration strikes, and to be, an open channel when that inspiration does come in, and be able to record it, and, little by little chip away at that, and put your focus there, rather than on this connection necessarily. The connection might come back around, it might not, but there's something else that you're meant to be doing right now, I would say. So pile one, I hope that is resonant for you, and please do click like below, leave a comment, put an emoji in the comments. That will help boost the channel or boost the video and get others to see it if you feel this has been valuable and helpful. and subscribe if you're not subscribed, and that way you'll catch the next video when it comes. And every additional subscriber is a little bit of persuasion to the next person to hit that subscribe button. It builds. And thank you for being here. I really appreciate you engaging. I really love learning how to channel these energies and kind of bring them through and putting the cards together. And I do feel like it's starting to come, and that's amazing. And this is not something I ever saw myself doing, but here I am, and it's beautiful. I love it. So I hope you enjoyed it as well, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, Pile 1. Hi, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. So today we're looking at whether your person will come forward and make a move. So I've pulled some oracle cards already. This is you over here on this side. These 3 cards. This is your person on this side. So for you we've got dolphin. For your person we've got beaver. And maybe we'll look at those and then we'll pull the other cards. Alright, Pile 2. So for you we've got the dolphin, which is number 40. Just gonna look at the book for this. Dolphin is mana. Dolphin speaks to us of the breath of life, the only thing that humans cannot go without for more than a few minutes. In changing the rate or rhythmic texture of our breath, we can tap into any other life form or creature. This is a very easy way to connect with divine energy coming from Great Spirit, as well as with your own personal rhythms. Dolphin is the keeper of the sacred breath of life and teaches us how to release emotions through dolphin breath. Dolphin creates rhythm, swimming through the water and breathing before submerging, then holding its breath for the duration of underwater travel. As dolphin comes above water again, it blows its breath out in a manner resembling the popping of a cork. We can use the same technique to pull the stopper on our tensions and create total relaxation. This is a good exercise to use before entering the silence. Mana is life force. Mana is present in every atom and is Great Spirit's essence. Dolphin teaches us how to use life mana through our breath. Dolphin was traveling the oceans one day as Grandmother Moon was weaving the patterns of the tides. Grandmother Moon asked Dolphin to learn her rhythms so that he could open his female side to her silvery light. Dolphin began to swim to the rhythm of her tide weaving and learned to breathe in a new way. As Dolphin continued to use this new rhythm, he entered the dream time. This reality was a new and different place from the seas he had known. Dolphin came to discover underwater cities in the dream time and was given the gift of the primordial tongue. This new language was the sound language that was brought by Spider from the Great Star Nation. Dolphin learned that all communication was pattern and rhythm, and that the new aspect of communication was sound. He carries this original pattern to this day. Dolphin became the carrier of messages of our progress. The Dreamtime dwellers were curious about the children of Earth and wanted us to grow to be at one with Great Spirit. Dolphin was the link. If Dolphin has appeared to you today, frothing through the waves in your spread, you are to be a link for some solution for the children of Earth. This can be a time when you are to link with Great Spirit and bring answers to your own questions or to those of others. In addition, this can mean a time of communication with the rhythms of nature. You are on notice to be mindful of your body rhythms and the patterns of energy being fed to you from the Creator. Imitate Dolphin and ride the waves of laughter, spreading joy in the world. Breathe and experience the mana so freely given. Break existing barriers and connect to the dream time or Great Star Nation. Know that we are all whole in the eyes of the ever-living one. Just, a minor task. You can do it. You're up for it. For your person, we've got Beaver, Builder. Beaver is the doer in the animal kingdom. Beaver medicine is akin to water and earth energy and incorporates a strong sense of family and home. If you were to look at the dams that block woodland streams, you would find several entrances and exits. In building its home, Beaver always leaves itself many alternative escape routes. This practice is a lesson to all of us not to paint ourselves into corners. If we eliminate our alternatives, we dam the flow of experience in our lives. A doer is characterized by industriousness, and Beaver knows that limitation cancels productivity. To understand Beaver medicine, you might take a look at the power of working and attaining a sense of achievement. In building a dream, teamwork is necessary. involves working with the group mind, which is harmony of the highest order, without individual egos getting in the way. If beavers appeared in your spread, it may be time to put your ideas into action or complete some project that has been neglected. It could be asking you to settle differences with fellow workers or friends, and protect the creations which you put your love and energy into. Sometimes beaver brings a warning to watch your back. You will know it by the position in which the card falls in your spread. That's assuming that we're doing a spread with these cards. Remind your child self that trusting is okay and caution is necessary. Use discernment and all will be fine. So, your person might be somebody who's very industrious, who prioritizes home and family. They may be somebody who knows how to engage in teamwork and build step by step. Whereas you're carrying the messages of the earth realm back to the dream time. And so you might be somebody who's very based in spirit, and your person might be very earthy. Over here we've got Child Eternal and Queen. So your energies, they're both upright, but I'll tell you the light attributes and the shadow attributes for both. So for Child Eternal, the light attributes are determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit, ability to see things with fresh eyes, and the shadow is inability to grow up and be responsible, extreme dependency on others for physical security. The Queen, the light attributes are radiates the regal feminine, uses her benevolent authority to protect others. Shadow attributes are becomes arrogant when authority is challenged, controlling and demanding. And so perhaps you are someone who is very good at, dolphin is a spirit of play. So perhaps you're very good at play, being, bringing that sort of youthful energy to your life, to this connection perhaps. I'm getting the sense that this is somebody that you're in relationship with. So this is an energy check-in, of course, and, we're looking at whether your person will be making a move and coming towards you. But this feels like, possibly somebody that you're already in relationship with, or that you have a foundation with in some way. And it, I'm sort of noting the dependency on others for physical security, and the fact that this is a person who provides security is the shadow over here. And then, often people who provide security are controlling and demanding, because they're people who are able to control circumstances in order to sort of take those steps to build up security. And that same quality can make them want to minimize the influence of emotions on changing circumstances. It makes them want to prevent changing circumstances, prevent taking other people's energy into account when taking those steps. And I'm not, suggesting that these are good or bad things. And I don't know why I'm going to the shadow of both of these, but possibly because we're looking in this reading at whether they're going to come towards you, as opposed to being already in relationship. This person might be in their feminine, regardless of their gender. They may be skilled at using their authority to protect the people who are in their circles. That could be you. So there's definitely sort of a complementarity that I'm seeing here. Let's see what these last cards are. For you, we've got Child of the Cosmos, Child Eternal, Child of the Cosmos. The intelligence of the universe lies within you. And for your person, we've got Lifting the Veil, questioning everything, anything unaligned must go. And so let's look at the guidebook for those. Child of the Cosmos. There's a mysterious force that governs all of life, an intelligence that tells flowers when to bloom and the tides and seasons when to come and go. That intelligence is within you, too. It was there before you drew your first breath, and it will be there well beyond your last. It's the part of you that informed every cell what to do when you were in your mother's womb. It's harder to resist this force than it is to surrender to it. Because Earth is a planet of polarity and free will, it's easy to forget that this intelligence exists within us. So often we become disconnected from this pulse of life and fall into the pattern of believing that we're separate or feeling that we need to go it alone. We can feel isolated and as if we need to figure things out for ourselves, to rely on our own strength. You're being called to remember the intelligence that's within each and every one of your cells, to remember that you're a precious child of a loving, gentle universe, that you have access to all the intelligence, wisdom, strength, flow, and qualities there ever were, are, or will be. And to remember that if flowers know exactly when and how to bloom, then you do too. How can you surrender more deeply to the intelligent flow of life? So I'm definitely seeing some commonalities between this card and this one. The description reminds me of this, and the title of it is reminding me of this. So that's definitely a card of surrender as well. And I feel like perhaps, possibly you're already in that flow of surrendering. Whereas your person might be less in the energy of surrendering and more in the energy of controlling a situation to ensure that a goal is achieved. And again, these are looking so complementary and sort of getting kind of divine counterpart energies from this. I'm not saying that, the connection, we'll see what the tarot has to say, but without wanting to prejudge. And also, if you've got a controlling person in your life, then it's very much up to you, not just to like flow and, into it, but to make a judgment call about whether those energies should be in your life and set boundaries if you feel that they should not. With lifting the veil, we've got questioning everything, anything unaligned, let's go. Things aren't always as they seem. This era is one of uncovering mistruths so we can remember ancient truths. Everything is in a state of recall and realignment. Anything that isn't in harmony with the planet will not survive. This goes for society and the world at large, as well as in our own lives. If you pull this card, you're being called to energetically scan your life for things that may no longer be a vibrational match for who you are and how you've grown. To dismantle the systems and ways of being that once served you and others, but no longer do. I'm just checking the time here because I know this is going to kick me out after a couple hours. You're being called to but no longer do. Some starseeds are here to lift the veil between the unseen, I'm going to start that again. Some starseeds are here to lift the veil between the seen and unseen worlds, to shine a light on things that are inauthentic or unaligned with the survival and well-being of Earth, to stand for and protect those who don't have a voice, to look deeper and question everything that previous generations did not. Some starseeds cannot tolerate things that aren't congruent. They're here to bring society and humanity back into harmony with the planet and the Creator at large. If we tolerate things in our life that aren't aligned and congruent with it, we add to the misalignment of the planet. You're being called to trust yourself, notice what's out of alignment, and then take the baby steps required to bring it back into harmony. This is no easy feat, but it's so worthwhile, both individually and for the planet. What isn't congruent in your life? How are you being called to bring it back into harmony? So this person has a mission that having, this beaver energy, this is their tool set and this is what their mission is. And, in terms of the archetype that they end up resonating with, I can see that being connected to both of these energies actually. And so, it may be that they have this ability to sort of control things because they have a clear sense of what is aligned and what's not aligned, and they need to cut away what's not aligned and protect what is aligned. And so if this feels like the energies of you and your person, and again, I should say in each pile, it might be that you are resonating with this and that you feel like your person resonates with this. That can happen. Also, there can be mirroring. If you're seeing both of these things in both of you, that can happen. This one's it seems like there's polarities happening. And so, but, sometimes there's mirroring anyway. For the connecting energies between you, we've got Leo with Shine, we've got the Dead End Job, and we've got the Two of Elixirs, which is the Two of Cups. So I'm going to look up the guidebook for Leo, and then we're going to pull some tarot cards after this. Leo, shine for the benefit of all. Leo's lion symbol asks you to be brave, be visible, share from your heart, and warm all of those around you. Action, take your space, be visible, light up the room, but also honor the light within others. Leo asks you to be the hearth fire of the situation. Hold other people's attention, not just for your own ego, but for their benefit, as an actor or teacher would do. Warm their lives and be the person that people gather around to share stories. Bask in the sun, cultivate your community with love, share the bounty of your culture, renew your spirits by living life to its fullest. Be honest rather than modest. Dramatize the situation to get your point across. Just be sure to track where the truth ends and hyperbole begins. Connect your expression and creative process to real feelings and honest facts. Teach, share, be generous with what you know, are, and have, and know that those actions attract the love and appreciation you need. Then offer that same level of attention to others, and they will love you for it. People deeply appreciate being seen by you. Learn when to shine and when to step back and center another person, idea, or community. Beware of melodrama that can disconnect you from real feelings. The gift is love. Leo rules the heart, so bring your energy and intention into your heart and let this chakra become a beacon. Honor the heart within each person you meet and watch the dynamics shift. So it might be that when you put the dolphin together with the beaver, what ends up happening is that you're creating space for other people to shine. It looks like those are the connecting energies that you are or are meant to be embodying in the connection between you. We've got the dead end job. I'm curious about that one. Seems a little bit out of step with the other. I mean, these feel like they're quite aligned, but let's have a look and see what the guidebook has to say about it. A labyrinth of beige cubicles awaits thy eternal soul. Get out while you still can. 9 to 5 and then 6, 7, 8. Your workday is never ending. Your boss is toxic. Your coworkers are cringeworthy. I should say this deck is intended to be kind of funny, and it is feeling a little bit out of step in this particular reading, but you know, humor is a good thing sometimes when it is. Your workday is never ending. Your boss is toxic. Your coworkers are cringeworthy, and your customers are Karens, but you still answer the phone with a chipper greeting. Nancy needs to release her internalized rage via a CC'd "as per my last email." Phyllis needs to cry about her euthanized cat over coffee. There must be some kind of way out of here. Go to the light, quick, before your soul gets sucked into the vending machine. So maybe one or both of you are in a job that is not serving your purpose. It might be that, you know, you may be the one in the dead end job. I'm not sure. That might be affecting this connection in some way. It might be making you look to the beaver for some stability that you can get yourself out of there with. I don't know. But if that resonates, take it. I'm not totally sure what to make of the dead end job, except that, you know, I feel like that's a note of misalignment between these two energies. So if the dead end job is referring to the relationship itself, then that's obviously out of step with the rest of this reading and not good energies, and you'll know if that applies to you. If so, you know, you might, like, if your relationship feels like a dead end job, or if your connection with this person is feeling like it's got those, you know, toxic energies of a controlling and demanding person leading to you feeling dead inside, then that's something to listen to and perhaps make a move away from the beaver, you know, more into dolphin energies. You'll know if that resonates for you, but it seems more likely that maybe one or both of you is struggling with some kind of work for sustenance that is not bringing you joy at this time, and then, you know, the job of the two of you together, the connection between you, is this shining energy, whether you're shining together, when you come together you shine, or when you come together you're able to lift other people up and help them to shine, whatever that's feeling like. Two of Cups, of course, is the energy of the beginnings of a relationship, the beginnings, sort of reciprocated affection. I'm just looking for the Antique Anatomy book to see if it has anything to add. I don't think it does necessarily, but we'll have a look. I mean, Two of Cups is Two of Cups, whatever the... Two people uniting in love and compassion. The union is balanced and fair. Together they can reach new heights. Romantic soulmates, close friendship, or a beneficial business partnership. If you've been involved in a conflict or argument with a loved one, this card advises that all will be forgiven soon as long as you approach each other with kindness and patience. Union, true love, soulmates, karmic connection. Karmic connection, of course, is union energy and more of a connection that is likely to come and go. So that could apply as well. But it looks more like there's, between the Leo and the Shine and the complementarity that really is speaking to me of divine counterparts. It feels like there's some strong connection between the two of you. And now let's take a look at the tarot and we'll see. We'll just slide these on over to their respective corners and make some room for the tarot. I feel like that's a better way to arrange it. And then we'll put these connecting energies over to one side and the other side. And then, so, please Spirit, connect me into pile two's person. Are they going to make a move in this connection? Are they going to come towards pile two? And we've got the Mushroom Tarot today. And so because this, the Oracle cards and the Tarot have sort of taken a bit of time, I think I'm going to not look as closely at the actual mushroom meanings as I was perhaps intending to, or had been with previous piles. Got the Knight of Swords in reverse. Is pile two's person going to make a move towards them? Whoa there. Will pile two's person make a move towards them? Got the Knight of Pentacles. That's already speaking to me of. I've got two Knights, one reverse. Knight of Pentacles is the upright one, is speaking to me of slow moving energies. The Knight of Pentacles wants to do it right. They're kind of like a beaver. In fact, Knight of Swords in reverse, I'll have to refer to my cheat sheet, but the Knight of Swords is like communication, so that might be a lack of communication. I don't want to say that. I don't say that with any confidence, but I think that might be what that reverse card means. Will pile two's person make a move and come towards them? We've got a bunch. I'm just going to take the top one, Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Will pile two's person make a move and come towards them? Will pile two's person make a move and come towards them? We got the Five of Cups and the Tower. I always appreciate the Tower in this deck because it has quite a dramatic name, which is Yellow Netted Stinkhorn, or otherwise known as Phallus Multicolor, which if you've watched my readings before, you'll know that I've laughed about in the past. But it is still the Tower, and the Yellow Netted Stinkhorn sounds like a perfectly stinky mushroom. Sorry, let's get clarifiers. Clarifier for the Knight of Swords, please. Clarifier for the Knight of Swords regarding whether pile two's person is going to make a move in this connection. We've got the Ace of Pentacles. Clarifying the Knight of Pentacles. Clarifying the Knight of Pentacles, please, Spirit. Regarding whether pile two's person is going to make a move towards them. Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles, clarifying the Knight of Pentacles. Clarifying the Knight of Pentacles. Here's a courtesy. Come on now, Spirit. I must be holding on to them too tightly. Deep breath, relax. Knight of Pentacles, clarifying the Knight of Pentacles. That one almost came out as I said Ace of Pentacles, and then it popped back in when I said Knight of Pentacles. Oh, I'm going to take that one. Knight of Wands. We've got 3 knights here out of 4. Interesting. Clarifying the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Clarifying the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Please, Spirit. Something popped out almost right away and then it went back in. Clarifying the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Oh my. Well, since those fell out on camera, we're going to take them. 5 of Pentacles and 2 of Pentacles. Clarifying the 5 of Cups. Please, Spirit, clarifying the 5 of Cups. Clarifying the 5 of Cups. We've got the Magician. And the question on everyone's minds, clarifying the Tower, please, Spirit. Why is the Tower here? If I'm not satisfied with one card for the Tower, I will pull another one. Because I do not want to leave this reading on a Tower note. Although I'll tell you my theory about the Tower. I'm sure you've heard it before if you've seen my readings before. I like to point out when it says EarthStar here, this one's called Barometer EarthStar. Yes! And so clarifying the Tower, please, Spirit. That was too many cards. One card, please. Clarifying the Tower. Make it a good one. We've got the 10 of Wands in reverse. I don't think I'm going to be leaving the reading on that note, but let's have a look here. So I'm going to refer to my notes for the Knight of Swords in reverse. The only thing I've got written for that one is avoidant energy and acting out of character. So your beaver person might be somebody who plans things out meticulously, sort of Knight of Pentacles energy, and it's possible that at this time they're behaving a bit out of character and avoiding the situation, avoiding you. So if this is someone you are in a connection with already, it might be that something has happened such that they're acting a little bit avoidant, contrary to how they might usually approach things. And I love that their cards are just leaning away and kind of separated from the rest of, come on now, back to the group. But it looks like they have some kind of gift that they want to bring in. So it might be that they've been taking space, but something productive is going to come out of that process. And so maybe they have needed a little bit of time and space away from the connection in order to figure out what they will bring forward to you. So I do see something coming forth here. But let's keep going, and I want to get into this a little bit more. We might need some clarifiers for that energy when we get there. So with the Knight of Pentacles, again, that's the energy of planning things out quite precisely, step by step, making sure that everything has been considered. It can be somebody, again, it's beaver energy, like somebody who's very meticulous, methodical, who can put aside gratification until the proper steps. They want to come right to the situation. And that looks like it might be in tension with the Knight of Wands, which would be effectively the reverse of those energies. So the Knight of Wands comes blazing in, wanting to have a good time. And the Knight of Wands can be, it can be player energies as well. It could be somebody who is just motivated by passion, looks before they leap. There can be some sexual passion coming in with the Knight of Wands. They might be very charismatic, very drawn to you. There might be momentum that's pulling them in your direction. So these two things might be in tension. They might be wanting to come correctly towards you, but also really feeling that sort of, the words in my mind are carnal pull, if that resonates for you. But just, a passionate desire to come towards you. But the Knight of Pentacles, with the Knight of Pentacles energy, they might not act on that Knight of Wands energy that they're feeling. Wheel of Fortune in reverse, I'm pretty sure I don't have that one. Or do I? Because I've wondered about it. I do not. So just bear with me while I refer to the interwebs on that one. Okay, Wheel of Fortune in reverse. You may be facing challenging changes that you may not readily welcome. So your person, these changes might not align with their desires, and adapting to them could prove to be a struggle. Luck may not have been on your side. Misfortunes may have been following your person. Again, not you, but your person. Repetitive cycles, patterns, recurring life lessons. Negativity and pessimism might be setting in. It's a call to take ownership of your decisions and accountability. Yeah, feeling that things are not working out in the way that you want them to. And so it might be that, you know, between this might be what your person wants, this might be how they feel they should approach you, but the overall, you know, they want to bring something to you, but there's some kind of block happening here where, you know, maybe the conflict between these energies are leading to some changes that they're having trouble. I mean, this, you know, maybe this Knight of Wands energy for a Beaver person, that can be hard to handle. You know, it might be that they're used to doing things in a Knight of Pentacles manner, and then this, you know, passion comes in and they don't know what to do with it. They're not sure how to integrate it. So the integration seems like it's maybe not happening here, leading to the Five of Pentacles, feeling of being on the outside of something. So your person might be feeling like they're on the outside of this connection right now. I tend to think of the Five of Pentacles as sort of a self-created situation. You know, there's a church right there, and the people out in the cold, you know, maybe they're being excluded, maybe they are on the outside, maybe they're not allowed inside. And that's really, really tough energies, of course, especially when you're walking around in the snow with a broken foot, as in the Rider-Waite. And cold, you know, cold and poor and injured. But I also have seen a description where, you know, it's like perhaps those people could just walk around the building and find the front door and go in, and that instead they're sort of wandering around outside in the cold as if they're excluded, but they're sort of self-selecting to be excluded. So, you know, it might be that your person feels like things are changing and that's putting them on the outside. You know, maybe this is what it would look like for them to feel like they're on the inside, but then these energies come along and that's making them feel like they don't know what's going on, and they feel like they can't get to you because they're feeling all this strange passion. This is becoming quite dramatic. If this is resonating, take it. If I'm rambling, again, there I am underselling myself again. If it's resonating, take it, because your people's situations will be different. And so, yeah, so there's something here of them not being comfortable, not feeling comfortable is what I'm seeing. And that's leading them to a choice. To my mind, that barometer is Star Two of Pentacles choice is, you know, probably looking like a choice between the Knight of Pentacles energy and the Knight of Wands energy. Are they going to come correct, which in their mind is the proper way to do it, or are they going to cede to their passions? And, you know, if they're feeling the pull to this, then that may be them feeling like this is, you know, how do I integrate this? It might feel like this is dishonorable to that person, to somebody who's used to costing things out, ensuring that they're doing things the right way. Giving into their passions might feel like they're shortchanging the other person, not being respectful of the other person. You know, to my mind, there's great respect and power, you know, in potentiate with this Knight of Wands energy. But there is also the potential for it to go in a player direction, of course, and that can be very, you know, like if they're feeling drawn to just have a physical connection, and if in their mind, if they have a physical connection with you, then, you know, that's like cheapening the connection in some way, then, you know, maybe that's what the conflict is here. Maybe they feel like they want to be sure that they want a connection with you before they bring in that Knight of Wands energy. And so they're kind of locked in a dilemma, feeling drawn, but not wanting to do it the wrong way. Five of Cups is the energy of, let me just, I'm being thrown off by not knowing what the picture is on that one, so let me just pull that up for one quick second. Expectations meet opposing realities. Enthusiasm or positivity may be diminished. Regret. And so they might be, in this Five of Pentacles energy and just really feeling some regret. Maybe they came in with the Knight of Wands energy, and maybe that was not what worked in this connection. Maybe that ended up leading to a change in their fortune. And then them being on the outside, maybe that's literally, maybe they made that Two of Pentacles choice in the direction that led you to feel like they weren't valuing you. And so then they, are feeling regret about that choice. Or maybe they didn't act on that, and now they're regretting, not giving into their passions, not prioritizing the connection, not bringing in, that sort of romantic, sexual side of things. Instead, maybe they've been playing it safe and they're regretting that. Whatever resonates for you, take that. And that's being modified by the Magician. So it seems to me that they're going to figure that out. Like they're, actually two different things are coming in and they're quite different. So one is that they've got the resources to figure out how to make this right. And they've got the ability, they've got all the potential there. They know, they have those inner skills, that inner skill set to figure out how to put to right this Five of Cups energy, how to get out of the situation, out of the, in out of the cold, and return to some kind of divine counterpart connection with you. But because we've got the Tower and the Ten of Wands in reverse, I'm wondering if maybe the other reading that was coming in might be more resonant for some of you, which is that they're in this, dilemma, Five of Pentacles on the outside energy, they're regretting their choices, and with the Magician it might be that they're doubling down on that Five of Cups energy. So it might be that they're, sort of manipulating the situation to reinforce that situation of setback, forward growth, kind of stopping, doubling down on that regret, especially if there's somebody who likes to kind of build things up in the right way. It might be that they're manipulating the connection right now is what's coming into my mind. I don't know, maybe that resonates for somebody. I'm just trying to understand what's coming in because it's very different than the way that I think. It's almost like they feel like there was a misstep. They feel like, they're out in the cold, or they've left you out in the cold, I don't know. And they had a choice to make, and the choice that they ended up making was to side with this Five of Cups, to stop the forward growth of the connection. And that almost seems like the Magician should be in reverse for that to be true. But the Magician is upright, so, I think there is still potential for them to make a different decision there and to put things to right. And but then we have the Tower, and I think I'm going to go to the guidebook for these two cards, and then we'll use that as a jumping off point and maybe pull a couple more cards, because I do not want to leave you with just the Tower, because I find that a little depressing. 16... Yellow netted stinkhorn, otherwise known as Phallus multicolor. At least there's some lightheartedness in the Latin name of this mushroom. And I mean, look at it. I don't know, can you see that? There are no children watching this reading, I hope. It's a mushroom. It's just a mushroom. Sometimes a mushroom is just a mushroom. Yellow netted stinkhorn. This stinkhorn mushroom is quite a sight. Even more, quite a smell. This phallic, tower-shaped mushroom releases a foul goo full of spores that attract flies, who disperse them as they fly away. The stinkhorn explodes from the ground with a force that can crack pavement, and then decays into a horrific puddle, capturing the essence of the tarot card. And upright, it refers to collapse, upheaval, explosive beginnings, and release. A monumental change is approaching. With it comes new beginnings, but get as stable as you can. It's going to be a bumpy ride. This change, while dramatic, is necessary for essential renewal. Keep your wits about you and your eyes on the horizon. Okay, so I think what I appreciate about this tarot card, it's kind of reminding me why I like this one so much. It's not just the humor of the name, but it's almost calling in sort of a death card energy of renewal. So, you know, they say in tarot not to be afeared of the death card because every ending has a new beginning. And I feel like this tower card very specifically calls that out because, you know, this tower collapses in goo. You know, the process of it collapsing in goo is because it has sent out those spores, and that's how it procreates. You know, that's how it renews itself, is by, you know, the fruiting body of the mushroom collapsing into goo. And so, you know, there's a nod to regeneration, cycles, something fertile coming out of the collapse of the old. And so that's my read of the tower. But the Ten of Wands, of course, is the... Oh, I'm getting mixed up. Okay. Ten of Wands is burdens upright. So let's have a look at what it can refer to reverse. I was thinking Ten of Pentacles. Pardon me, maybe all is well. Ten of Wands in reverse can be delegation, release, taking a break, finally saying no, freedom, lightening the load. I need to let go of burdens, wanting to come in. Very burdened, carrying a lot of heavy burdens. Okay. Alright. Wow, that changes everything. Maybe we don't need extra cards. Although now I promised you extra cards. Okay, so with this collapse, with this, you know, fertile collapse, then we've got, you know, maybe the beavers releasing some of their burdens. You know, it's hard to be a beaver. They're, you know, planning everything out meticulously when really they want to be in this Two of Cups energy, Knight of Wands energy with you. And so maybe some of these Knight of Pentacle burdens maybe are collapsing and they're looking into, you know, letting go of some of that burdensome energy that was keeping them out in the cold. I like this ending a lot better than the one I was seeing before. So, you know, maybe this is them choosing the other pentacle, letting the other pentacle drop, so to speak. So many things just came into my mind, you know, because we're talking about our phallus multicolor over here. Yes, moving on. So it's possible that this person is looking to put down their burdens, and that's, you know, maybe that's going to turn this Wheel of Fortune back around to the positive swing. I do feel like they're into you, is what I'm seeing, between the Ace of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. And then even the Knight of Pentacles, there's, you know, they've got, okay, there, that's making more sense of the Magician. It's sort of leaning more towards the positive interpretation of that, which makes sense of why it's upright and not reversed. Okay, sorry about that. I just completely misread this card. I was thinking it was like, anyway, if you know, you know. It doesn't matter. Let's not bring that energy into this reading. So, so it seems to me that they have the inner resources to put things to right here, and that they're motivated to do that, and that's what is happening here. But first it's going to require a bit of a collapse for them, but it looks like they're engineering that collapse is what I'm seeing here. So they're inviting that shift in. So I'd say they are coming towards you. They're trying to figure out how to do it right. They're doing it with passion, and they have to have a tower moment first and lay down some of their burdens. And then, because I did promise you another card or two, that's still got a couple cards that are not in that deck, so I'm just going to pull out a different deck. What other tarot do we have here? We've got the Rider-Waite. So that way we've got a complete deck that we can refer to. And got some cards facing the wrong way here. Just one moment. I think everything faced the right way. Alright. Give us a bit of a shuffle. So I'll just pull, you know, I'd say minimum 2, maximum 3 cards. Just to... It's always a risk, of course, now that we've come to a positive end of this reading. Whoa! That one just flew across the room. Oh, there's 2 of them. We've got the Four of Pentacles, or sorry, yeah, the Four of Pentacles and the Star. Okay, and now I have to put a lightning bolt on this reading. Curses, curses. Okay, so Four of Pentacles is the energy of attachment. So I'd say this person, and Star of course is wish fulfillment and hope, renewal. So I think we'll end it there. We'll leave it with, we're not going to end the reading here, but we'll leave the tarot here. So this person's attached to pursuing the connection with you is what I'm seeing. They have strong hopes. So if this is somebody that you've been in separation with, I think they have strong hopes that you'll work that all out, and they know that they've got the power, but that it's going to take a process of transformation for them. And, it's this Knight of Wands that's providing the impetus, but the Knight of Pentacles is making them want to do this correctly. But they're really committed, I would say. That's my reading of that. I like that I just had an intuitive hit of using a different deck and that it came out so clearly for me. I like that. I like it when things make sense. And tarot is starting to make a lot more sense. And it's easy with the Rider-Waite. I mean, look at these mushrooms. They're like kind of dark, kind of mysterious. It's got the words on them, but then it's got like all these other words that kind of complicate things. And my brain is sort of, I want to get better with it all. I want to get to know these other decks and sort of be a little more, but you saw how quickly I did that with the Rider-Waite. It's easy. But it wasn't easy in the beginning, and now it is. And now I'm challenging myself with new things, trying to push forward as always. Yes, okay, what is the end of this reading? We're going to pull wow, words are failing. A Sacred Rebel card. So this is for you, for what action for you to take or what for you to focus on in respect of this connection, but loosely so. So something, most likely, knowing this deck, something for you to focus on in your own process. And so I am going to read from the guidebook, but I've just been sort of summarizing. I have to get these cards to jump out because they're very solid, well-built cards that are also very large. Might just have to cut the deck if it doesn't happen soon. I'll make you all sit there and wait. And two just pop out. I'm just going to pick one at random. Here we go. Seeing the true you. Alright, let's see what that's about. Oh, I pulled that one before. Sometimes we believe what others tell us we are, as though the self we see reflected back to us through their eyes is truth. Yet, the accuracy of a reflection depends on the clarity of that who is doing the perceiving, of who is doing the perceiving, that which is doing the reflecting. Whew. If the receiver forms any opinion about what is perceived, then what is reflected back to us is not necessarily through ill will, it is just the mechanics of the situation. Even the moon reflects the sun in varying degrees of fullness and clarity. At different times, I would add. We can learn something of the nature of the sun from the moon, but not as much as through direct perception. This oracle has come to you because you have been putting rather too much faith in the reflections others have of you, to the point that you might not be honoring all that you are and all that you are becoming, because you believe too little of yourself. There may be those around you that are able to reflect you more faithfully and even help you to see more of your own greatness and beauty. These are the souls blessed with inner stillness. In the clear waters of their ocean of consciousness, you can come to recognize yourself with clearer perception. However, there are those who have not tended to their own ocean and are unable to be still enough to genuinely receive and reflect your light back to you. There's no judgment here. Each takes the path of self-healing that is available and appropriate at any given time. However, to attempt to see the magnificence of the sun in a very partial moon doesn't make too much sense. If you're blessed with those in your life who can show you the beauty within you, wonderful. Even so, this oracle comes to you with a task you are now ready for. You are to begin to develop the art of direct perception. This is the ability to recognize yourself not only in the eyes of others, but from how you feel about yourself, how you experience yourself, and how you observe yourself with kindness and compassion from within. This is a step towards radical empowerment that does not require perfection in order for you to recognize that you are lovable and have much to offer. It is empowerment based on the acceptance of all that you are, working with your strengths, tending to your weaknesses, and being loving, encouraging, and nurturing of all that you perceive. And you will see your human self and the eternal within you. You will be asked to embrace the deeper journey of sacred rebellion against judgment and fear, and into passionate creativity and unconditional trust in life. If you're getting confused about who you are and your motives or actions based on what others are saying or how they are responding to you, step back. In your quest to be a responsible person, you may be unintentionally taking on the feelings of others, making their reflections of you more than they are in truth. More often than not, reflections are more about the state of the reflector than what is being reflected. Let those external perceptions go. Can you just acknowledge yourself, do so, and be free? Here's the healing process. You do screen capture if you so choose. And we're going to leave it there. Thanks, Bell2. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you could just throw an emoji in the comments, it helps the algorithm, and it is most helpful for getting the videos seen by others who may be able to resonate and get something from this as well. And thanks for being here. I love doing it, and I love that you're here. And if you stayed till the end, thank you. And thank you for supporting my independent little venture on YouTube and my passion for tarot. Thanks, Pile 2. Bye. Hi, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading. So we've got your energies over here, your person's energies over here, and the connecting energies between you in the middle. So for you, we've got number 43, Spider. For your person, we've got Butterfly upside down, number 9. And so with Spider, we've got Weaving. I quite like the archetype of Spider, as told through this book, or this deck. So Spider wove the web that brought humans the first picture of the alphabet. The letters were part of the angles of her web. Deer asked Spider what she was weaving and why all the lines looked like symbols. Spider replied, "Why, dear, it is time for Earth's children to learn to make records of their progress in their Earth walk." Deer answered Spider, "But they already have pictures that show through symbols the stories of their experiences." "Yes," Spider said, "but Earth's children are growing more complex, and their future generations will need to know more. The ones to come won't remember how to read the petroglyphs." So it was that Spider wove the first primordial alphabet, as she had woven the dream of the world that had become manifest. That's what I was referring to. Spider's dream of the physical world had come to fruition millions of years before. Spider weaves the webs of fate for those who get caught in her web and become her dinner. This is similar to humans who get caught in the web of illusion in the physical world and never see beyond the horizon into the other dimensions. The web of fate also represents a wheel of life, which does not include any alternatives or solutions. It is typically human to get caught in the polarity of good and bad fortune without realizing that we can change it at any time. If we are not decisive enough about changing our lots in life, we may end up being consumed by our fears and limitations. Spider is the female energy of the creative force that weaves the beautiful designs of life. Her web has hundreds of intricate patterns which catch the morning dew. If spiders drop from her web into your cards today, she may be telling you to create, create, create. Look for new alternatives to your present impasse. She can also be warning you that you've come too close to an entangling situation. She could be asking you to use a journal to write out and review your progress. And she brings a message of a different kind when she sees you becoming a bit too involved in the weaving of your life plans to notice opportunity at the outskirts of your web. If this is the case, Spider gets your attention so that you notice that something you have woven has borne fruit. Congratulations, Spider caught you just in time before you missed the opportunity on the edge of your web of reality. The most important message from Spider is that you are an infinite being who will continue to weave the patterns of life and living throughout time. Do not fail to see the expansiveness of the eternal plan. To my mind, Spider is about reality crafting and can be a sign that you are in charge of crafting your reality. And I don't mean that in a, spiritual escapist sense of that term, but there is potency in realizing that we can invite certain energies into our lives with the choices and actions we take, and then choose those consciously and craft our reality section by section. I'm trying to think of a spiderweb analogy. I was going to say bit by bit, line by line, web by web, but none of those quite sounded right. Okay, moving on to your person. So butterfly in reverse. Butterfly is about transformation. I'll read the upright and then go into the reverse. The power that butterfly brings us is akin to the air. It is the mind and the ability to know the mind or to change it. It is the art of transformation. To use butterfly medicine, you must astutely observe your position in the cycle of self-transformation. You're always at a certain station in your life activities. So there can be an egg stage, a larva stage, a cocoon stage, and a birth stage. And so you can ask yourself which of those stages you are in. So whether you're at the stage of a thought or idea, the larva stage where you need to make a decision, the cocoon stage where you're developing and doing something to make your idea a reality, or the birth stage, whether you're sharing your completed idea. And so butterfly reversed has a simple lesson. There's a need for change in your life that you are not recognizing. This could be a possible need for freedom, for a vacation, or for a new job. You may believe that change is too difficult, and you may rule it out to preserve the comfort of old habits. But in ruling out any possibility of change, you are saying that the courage of butterfly has been lost. Why does butterfly represent courage? Because there is a totally different world outside the cocoon, where the known realities of the chrysalis are no longer applicable. This new world demands that you use your newfound wings and fly. So it's possible that your person is being called to shift and transform into a new mode of being, and that they are resistant to that or not perceptive of it, which is quite a contrast, really, with the energies of the spider, which is the energies of, weaving the web segment by segment. That's the word I was looking for. And, deliberately bringing about that transformation, that change, that shift, crafting it again, segment by segment, little by little. And also kind of noticing that butterfly can be prey for spider. And I should say at the outset of this reading that this is an energy check-in. And so if you're seeing yourself and your person in these cards, and again, the attention is you here and them here, but it could be reversed, or you might see some mirroring in the cards. And if that's the case, that does happen. But the intention was you here, them here, and connecting energies here. And so if you are seeing resonance, then it should be sort of, it should be clear, it should be jumping out at you. And if you're having to work to make it fit, then you might be in the wrong reading, you might not be in the right reading for you or your person at this time. And so don't hesitate to switch to a different pile or a different reading. You shouldn't have to work too hard to make it fit. And so this is why we're doing an energy check-in. For you, we have Starkeeper, Cosmic Ancestor, Seed the Light by staying grounded. For your person, we have Lost Lands, Soul Memories, and Gifts. You've done this before. I will refer to the book for these two. Starkeeper, you're an ancient keeper of the stars, here to anchor and seed your light in your unique way. You've likely been incarnating on Earth for some time, dedicated to an era of awakening and bringing about a long-awaited shift in the planet's evolution. We're at a tipping point now. The survival of Earth and all its species is coming to a head. The more grounded you remain during this transitional period, the more helpful you'll be. The more you tend to the flames of your own heart, the more love you'll anchor onto this planet. The wisdom of the stars is imprinted in your soul. The more soul fragments you call home, the more this wisdom is seated here. You may be called to be in different places in the world to anchor this light, perhaps by taking a trip or living in a certain location. You may also find yourself experiencing awakening symptoms. The more grounded you remain, the more stable Earth's energy will become, and the less reactive humanity will be. You are here for a double mission, to grow as an individual and as part of a larger collective that's bringing about a shift in frequency. Trust that you can be in the world but not of it, and lead a truly glorious life. Place the card on the portal of your heart, so you can visualize yourself doing that. Here is the card. Place the card, energetically, let's say, on the portal of your heart and whisper the following. Maybe place your hand on your heart. I acknowledge that I'm a star keeper. I choose to anchor my light and stay as grounded as possible. Soul memories and gifts, you've done this before. The world is far more ancient than our documented history suggests. As souls, many of us have experienced ancient eras on the planet that were much more advanced than ours today. As we begin to remember these times, the rememberings and gifts can come flooding back. At this stage in Earth's timeline, we need the wisdom of the ancients to survive as a species. You're being called to connect with the lost wisdom of your own soul. If you feel guided to make a change in your life, to step into a new career path, birth a creation, or bring an idea to life, but feel unprepared, this card is calling you to consider that you've done this before. Perhaps your soul has wisdom beyond what your lifespan can imagine. Perhaps the intuitive hits and ideas you're receiving are divinely guided. Perhaps you've been preparing for this time. Some think that lost lands exist in the past. Others believe they exist today, in a different dimension. I believe these ancient lands also exist in the souls of those who experience them. If this card comes to you, perhaps the wisdom of lost lands such as Lemuria, Atlantis, and Avalon exists within you. And through surrendering to the intelligence of your soul, you can unlock the seeds of these ancient lands so we can all learn from our mistakes and usher in a new age. Place the card in the portal of your heart and whisper the following: I unlock any forgotten wisdom and soul gifts from lifetimes past. So that was your person. Your person seems to have a mission. Seems to be a very similar mission to your mission. And then for the archetype, we've got child wounded for you and damsel in reverse for your person. Child wounded has light attributes of awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children, opens the learning path of forgiveness. Sounds very, very much like a Chiron journey in my astrological way of making sense of the world. Shadow attributes blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds, resists moving on through forgiveness. And it's upright, so that suggests we're looking at the light attributes. Then we have damsel for your person. Damsel, the light attributes are understanding the nature of healthy romance, inspires you to rely on yourself. And then the shadow attributes, which are probably what's being called to because it came out in reverse. Waiting for a knight to provide for you, seduction by romantic illusion. So I notice your person has two reverse cards in these oracle cards. So butterfly reverse is suggesting the resistance to transformation. And then damsel in reverse is suggesting waiting for, a knight in shining armor to come and save your person. So it seems like there's perhaps some kind of soul mission that, they're being called to, that maybe they're being resistant to at this time. You would know better than I would if that's true or what that is. But it looks to me as if they're sort of waiting for somebody else to do it for them and resisting stepping into their own power. And then, maybe the message is that it's not all new material. There's something familiar to what it is they're being called to do. And so for the connecting energy between you, if that's resonating, we'll look at this connecting energy and hopefully this is also resonating for you. We've got Aries with Act. We've got Elixirs is the suit of cups in the Rider-Waite Tarot, traditional tarot. So this is the Knight of Cups, otherwise known as the Fertility Tonic, number 12. And then we've got the Child from the Audacity Tarot. So we'll start with the Astro. This is the second time today I've read the card of Aries, and to be quite honest, it popped out many times. And if it didn't pop out, obviously, I put it back because it had already come out today, and I was like, not sure about it, and it was sort of arguable a couple times, but then this time it definitely clearly came out. I think it came out in reverse even, but there isn't a reverse. Well, there's a challenge section, I guess, in this write-up. I'll go over that. Okay, so Act. Aries asks you to remember your personal fire, your reasons for being alive. It pumps up the volume in your life force. Its energy is raw, exhilarated, direct, rude, passionate, looking for a challenge. Use your wisdom to focus this raw power and give it a goal. Aries is the cardinal fire sign whose fresh, brash enthusiasm is symbolized by a headstrong ram. It rules the head and imbues initiation, new beginnings, spontaneity, rebellion, and rebirth. And I feel to point out that when it rules the head, it's not that it rules thought. Thought would not be really Aries energy. It's more like headstrong, like leading with your head in the sense of headbutting, moving ahead, that sort of head. And imbues initiation, new beginnings, spontaneity, rebellion, and rebirth. Action, begin, move into new territory, cut to the chase, be a hero. Feel the call to action and thoughtfully respond. Clear the air and clear the decks, be crisp and to the point, shoot from the hip. Set healthy boundaries just by being vibrantly alive. Express affection enthusiastically, spontaneously, passionately. Work in short, intense bursts rather than long periods of deep concentration. What else? I think you get the idea. So if you feel like the energy between you is quite fiery and passionate and has a lot of sort of beginner energy, sort of a spring energy, maybe there's some quick-tempered energy in there as well. Very possible. The challenge would be that accidents increase when you're in a hurry, rushing through a project or impatiently distracted. This flammable temperament can spark inspiration or spark a conflagration. Proceed with caution. The gift is that it brings spring. Aries is the spring, which is a brave miracle, and it can be your miracle. Feel the flowing inner life force and trust this divine direction and summon the courage to begin. So there's a lot of beginning energy, so this might be a very new connection. It might be one that's full of physical passion. We have the Knight of Cups, which sort of emphasizes, kind of doubles down on the idea of physical passion. The Knight of Cups, is charging ahead, is romantic, is, here's the knight in shining armor for the damsel. Seduction by romantic illusion. I don't know about illusion, but the knight definitely comes in quite passionately. So if you think of Aries being the, sort of the amorous side of Mars. Mars is sexuality, of course. And so Aries is the sign that embodies Mars energy, being ruled by Mars. And so the Knight of Cups would be, that would sort of be more Knight of Wands, I suppose, but the Knight of Cups would be the affection, the sweetness, coming in romantically and moving forward with wanting to start a connection, essentially. So I'm just seeing a lot of beginner energy, sort of like maybe you're flirting with this person, maybe you're tuning, as the Australians I used to travel with like to say. Maybe there's some energy of newness and just kind of feeling things out. And, maybe the connection is calling this person to transform or go through some kind of inner transformation where they're maybe coming out of that shadow attribute of the damsel and moving into understanding the nature of healthy romance and relying on themselves. And then we've got the Child from the Sassy Audacity deck. So don't take it too seriously. The Child. Never lose your childlike innocence. This card is here to remind you to let go of your burden and your adulting for the time being and remember what it was like to be carefree. Your inner child needs attention. And this card is coming up to remind you to relax and play today. Dance, sing, make cupcakes, paint your nails, binge on a new series, do whatever brings you back to a sense of innocence and peace. And so, perhaps, oh, hi, Dusky. Yeah, just, right over the cards. Hello, I love you. You stepped upon your spider. Yeah, are you going to lie down there? Yep. Hi, sweet boy. Do you think you could lie down not on the cards? Yeah, why don't you lie down over here? Yeah, right there. Yeah. How about that? How about right there? Yeah, you're a good boy. You too, you're a good boy. Yeah, go that way. Mm-hmm. That's there as a boundary, Dusky. Respect boundaries. How sweet then. Okay, so yeah, so I can't remember what I was saying, but there seems to be a lot of beginning energy in this connection. Whoa, careful. And you know, it looks like there's some excitement as well. I feel like I'm describing this excitement in the most boring tone possible, but you know, if I was 20 years younger, I'd probably be expressing how excited I am for you. And I am. And so it may be that this connection is bringing out some feelings of being youthful again, you know, like as love tends to do when it's new. I love that I had to add in when it's new. Dusky, no, no. Well, now the butterfly is similarly crumpled. You're a match. Yes. Okay, and so this cat, I will say, it's funny, he's wandered through. He's the most affectionate cat. He's the second most affectionate cat. He's the most sustainedly affectionate cat I've known in my life. He's sort of aggressively affectionate. Like, he wants his cuddles when he wants them, and he'll come right in and get right in there. He's kind of like an Aries in that way. But he's actually probably a Leo, is my belief. Okay, so if those are resonating, then let's move on to the tarot reading. We're going to just slide these over here. And I'll leave that like that so you can see it still. We'll move our Aries over here. And butterfly reversed with our Shadowlands, Lost Lands, and the Child. And then we're going to get some tarot. So we're using the Mushroom Tarot today, and this is me branching out and trying to be confident about using a non-obvious deck. I don't know, it's getting late. I've been doing tarot readings all day, and I still feel very connected to the energies, but I also am aware that my external voice is not coming through. I was going to say my external vocalizations are, and I didn't even have an end to that sentence. Having trouble processing, connecting, you know, intuition and thought to vocal expression thereof, shall we say. And yeah, so if I sound a little spacey, I mean, I am a space cadet, you know, kind of at the best of times. I say that with great affection for my own spacey qualities. People used to tell me I was very spacey. And then, you know, the teacher would ask a question and I'd give them a sharp answer that showed I'd been paying attention all along, even though I looked like I was staring out the window, which I was. One can operate on multiple levels at once. I even remember testing that at one point. Okay, moving on here. So we've got the Mushroom Tarot, so we'll pull some cards and then we'll get some clarifiers, and at the end we'll pull a Sacred Rebel card. And in the first pile I remembered to show the card at the bottom of the deck, and in the second pile I did not. So let's see if by the time I'm done shuffling this I can retain that bit of information for myself. Okay, so pile 3. Can we please get some card spirit for whether the person that pile 3 is thinking of is coming in, is coming towards them, if they're planning to pursue this connection, and you know, what the approximate timing of that may be, whether it's soon or not. So what's going on in this connection for pile 3? We've got the High Priestess. We might not get clear answers, but on the other hand, the answers might be very intuitive. Whoa. No, that's too many. Back you go. Pile 3, what's coming through for pile 3's person? pile 3's person coming forward in this connection within a reasonable time frame. Ooh. We've got the 8 of Cups in reverse. We've got the 2 of Swords. We've got a couple more and then we'll get clarifiers. What are the energies of pile 3's person in this connection right now? Are they coming forward? Are they actively pursuing this connection right now? Are they going to actively pursue this connection in the near future? Is pile 3's person coming toward them? Got Strength. It does make it easier to put cards back when more than one card comes out, because if I see what the card is, it's harder to do that. And we've got Page of Swords. Let's throw the next one back because now we want clarifiers. So clarifier for the High Priestess, please. Whoa, that one hit the floor. And it is the Magician in reverse. Oh dear. That's not much clarity, Spirit. Or is it? I don't know. Let's see what we can make of that. We've got 8 of Cups in reverse. Clarifier for the 8 of Cups in reverse, please. Clarifier for the 8 of Cups in reverse. So it's kind of tricky in my present life to make space for reading tarot. I don't anticipate that this will last much longer. We've got King of Pentacles in reverse. Clarifying the 8 of Cups in reverse. Now we want a clarifier for the 2 of Swords. And so I thought perhaps I should just record a bunch of tarot readings while I have a minute. And then I can sort of release them like a time release ADHD pill slowly over time. So that, you know, if going forward I don't have time. Clarifier for Strength is the Hangman in reverse. But at least there will be some goods coming out on the schedule. Clarifier for the Page of Swords, please. Spirit. Last clarifier card. We've got the 3 of Cups. And on the bottom of the deck, see, I remembered. See, I'm getting better. We've got the Queen of Cups in reverse. And I probably have even said in any of the readings today how excited I am to be able to read reversals a little bit, just a little bit. I'm not fully there yet, but you know, it's become intuitive with some of them. Some of them I already know. Some of them I am still sort of referring to the cheat sheet for all of them. Maybe not all of them, because I know the Magician in reverse pretty well. Let's just call that up. While we're here. Okay, so the High Priestess is intuition. It's sort of referring to the higher self for answers to a question. It's sort of got, I always describe it as having like a 5D meaning and a 3D meaning. So the 3D meaning is that there's something that it is not time for you to know yet. There's something that's obscure still. And a lot of people seem to read it that way. But the other meaning that I feel is more true, I want to say, is that it's requiring you to sort of, it's not quite like the Hermit in that you need to have a period of solitude and sort of only listening to yourself, but it's like that in the sense of, it's like the feminine, the divine feminine energies of a hermit-like journey insofar as you need to go deep within. That might not require a period of solitude, but it likely will require some brief solitude at least, some, you know, and more than introspection, it's about going deep, down, 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 into knowledge that is available when you seek it out and when you make yourself available to receive it, if that makes sense. Sacred knowledge, divine feminine, spirituality, inner power, higher power, inner voice, subconscious, on the 3D, I would say. The unseen. And it might suggest that intuition in this situation is more powerful than logic. That's being modified by the Magician reversed. And the Magician reversed can refer to, if the Magician is realizing talent, is sort of taking resources that are available to oneself and being able to manifest an outcome that you desire, using those resources, so sort of taking what you've got and like putting it to effective use and, you know, achieving the desired goal. The Magician in reverse might suggest difficulties with that process. So it might be that you're failing to take your resources and put them to good use. It might be that you're so able to do that you're very skilled in doing that you can use it to manipulate other people. It's funny, learning tarot has sort of made me more alive to the possibility of someone doing that consciously, which really was not part of my thinking. You know, like I've heard people accuse other people of being manipulative, usually female people, of being manipulative in the past, but it's never really gone through my mind before that somebody might actually deliberately manipulate another person. And I can see how, you know, for example, children manipulate their parents all the time, but it's very innocent, and I can see other people doing that. But the Magician in reverse has got me thinking about how, you know, there are people who like consciously try to get other people to come around to their way of doing things, you know, in a let's say in a way that overrides the autonomy of that other person, which to my mind is like, you know, karmically difficult for the person doing that. So I don't know what the incentive would be. But I accept that that might be something that people out there in the world actually do consciously. Anyway, point being that might be what's happening in the situation. It might be that either there's a block, like an inability to access intuition about the situation, or it might be that there's actually like somebody consciously manipulating the situation and keeping things confusing. So, you know, sort of at the, let's say the what would you call that? The higher meaning, the higher self meaning to me would mean that there's, you know, like there you might need to work a little bit, or your person might need to work a little bit harder. Someone might need to work a little bit harder, or collectively between you, at translating resources into this wealth of spiritual knowledge, or this, you know, spiritual connection, as the case might be, between you. At the 3D level, it might be that there's a person consciously manipulating things and making it confusing. So take what resonates. And then we've got the Eight of Cups in reverse. I am going to have to look that one up. Eight of Cups is the energy of walking away. So I imagine... Nah, it's not good. Aimlessness, staying in a bad situation, avoidance, fear of change. That was Butterfly reverse, fear of change. Failing to learn from the past and returning home. So if there's some, you know, past lessons there, maybe this person is not accessing that past knowledge in a way that they can put it to good use in this lifetime or in this connection. They might be avoiding. Yeah, this is looking like avoidance energy now that I'm thinking about that. This person might feel like the connection is requiring them to change in a way that they're not willing to do at this time. I find it emotionally difficult to put things so bluntly like that. I just want to soften it. I want to like bring forward, you know, I always want to have like a good, leave it with a good feeling, have a good outcome for y'all. But I'm getting better at just sort of stating what I'm seeing and getting more comfortable with what I'm seeing. I was sort of like almost seeing it but apologizing for it, I think, up until now. But, you know, it is in my nature to tell truth. Although I would like to make that truth feel good for people. if at all possible. But, sometimes it's important to have the information and, be able to make decisions from there. Anyway, we've got King of Pentacles in reverse modifying. King of Pentacles in reverse is, there might be some financial difficulties, greed, chauvinism, corruption, bribery, poor investments, possessiveness, exploitativeness, and wastefulness. So definitely, if Magician reversed is sort of a failure to utilize resources to bring about a desired outcome, King of Pentacles suggests, even in terms of money or material wealth, that there is a failure to do that as well. It could also mean a failure to do that in the sense of there's something on offer and they're not seeing it. They're not taking advantage of it. Like maybe you're offering them your love and they're not coming towards you. They're seeing they're focused on how to avoid rather than on what it is that they're missing out on, if that makes sense. They're seeing strategies for, going the other direction as opposed to seeing you for you. And then we've got Two of Swords. And they might be doing that as a result of their own ineptitude. They might be doing it as a result of, as I was saying, chauvinism or some kind of desire to manipulate the situation. Or they might be, possibly the connection between you is calling up some possessiveness for them, and so they're avoiding their feelings. Maybe they have feelings and they're trying to avoid those feelings of possessiveness, as opposed to, say, communicating them to you and letting you know that they exist, and, then allowing those feelings to be, whatever they are, without explicitly trying to control an outcome, I want to say. Might be more productive, but anyway, it's not for me to tell your person what to do, and it's probably not for you to tell them what to do either. Your choice is just to see the energies for what they are and decide whether to engage or not. Let's go on though, because we'll see what comes out in the rest of this. Okay, so for Two of Swords is sort of like having a choice but inflicting blindness on oneself with respect to that choice. So feeling like there are two equivalently weighty options, and not, like having a blindfold on that, if you put your swords down for a quick second, you could take off your blindfold and figure out which one is better. And so it may be that they're with the Three of Cups over here, I'm getting the sense that they might have options. They might be considering you as an option, and there might be another option for them that they're considering. Like this might be some third-party energy. And with the Three of Wands, it could be that they're planning to figure out where to take this. So it might be that they are feeling like they need to make this choice. They need to make a decision. They need to figure out which of these options is the better. And it might be that that's requiring some strength of them. I would imagine that we're back over here at this, transformation. So if there's a transformation that is required of them, and this could be, the other party could be their work. It could be other, it could be like family obligations, maybe they have a parent they take care of or a child that they care for that might be, causing a bit of a dilemma. But I do see them trying to resolve that dilemma and figure out where their priorities lie, and that being a process that requires some strength of them. We've got the Hangman in reverse, which I think means an end to being in limbo, but I will just double check. Where you be, Hangman? In reverse, we've got indecision, resistance, selfishness, delays, avoiding sacrifice, stalemate, stagnation, hesitation, stalling, or stalling is at an end. realizing that what you believed was fact is just a belief that can be changed. A period of awakening and resurgence, the wait is over. So it could be either of those meanings. And whichever one it is, it's going to take some strength for this person to realize that. Trying to hold both of those at once and go back to what was happening over here. So the Hangman as the end of stagnation could mean that they've been in this dilemma, but now they're making plans to summon strength to come out of the dilemma and make some forward progress. It could also be the case, and you'll know which of these applies to your situation, that this person is just sort of doubling down on that Two of Swords energy and is failing to make the choice. You know, they're resisting a transformation and they sort of end up in like more extreme Hanged Man energies. But with the Page of Swords, it looks like there's going to be some communication happening. I do see them perhaps reaching out to communicate what they are perceiving about the situation. They might be thinking a lot. They might have a lot of very quick... Sorry, I think the camera's shaking. Stretched out my legs here. I've heard in other readings also that the Page of Swords could refer to this person sort of paying attention to you online. It feels really weird to say that in a mushroom deck context. This is not the energy of being online, but you know, maybe it is, like mycelia, the mycelia down into the earth, and then the spores connecting all the mushrooms through the air as well. Air is definitely swords energy. So there's, you know, some kind of communication happening. It might be that they are paying attention to what's going on with you online, more than you realize, perhaps. They might be listening to old messages of yours, or, you know, something along those lines. There might be some back and forth communication, or some, like, you know, sort of talkative energy. And then with the Three of Cups, so that can be, Three of Cups can be third party energy. And again, that third party could be, you know, another obligation that this person has, or it could actually be another person. We've got this word scarlet here. Stalked Scarlet Cup is the name of this mushroom, and which of course makes me think of the Scarlet Letter. And so, but it could be that, you know, they're communicating with you about that situation or about that obligation that they have, and specifically, you know, it could also be that there's, like, them communicating with you brings a feeling of celebration, brings some closeness between you and a feeling that, you know, there's something to celebrate here. But then we've got the Queen of Cups in reverse, so the sort of underlying background energies is what the bottom of the deck card symbolizes. And so the Queen of Cups in reverse is an energy of insecurity, codependence. Remember, this person's looking for a knight to save them. They're in their damsel energies. Could be that they are confused about their own feelings, or uncomfortable with expressing their feelings, uncomfortable with vulnerability. They may be closed off to their own feelings or unable to feel them. There could be some codependence or overgiving, or blocked emotion. So like either too much emotion or not enough emotion is sort of, you know, the Queen of Cups would be balanced emotional energies, and Queen of Cups imbalanced could either go towards overgiving, clinginess, or it could go towards, you know, blocked emotions. It's possible somebody is blocked in this connection. And so I'm really seeing that it could go either way. It seems like what needs to happen in order for it to go in the direction of your person reaching out and communicating with you is for them to do this transformational work. And that has something to do over here with accessing their soul memories and gifts. And, you know, that can be a spiritual process, a conscious accessing of soul memories and gifts, but it can also just be them pursuing something that brings them joy, that brings them into the energies of their soul. And I just got a huge feeling of resonance as I said that. So hopefully that connects for somebody accessing this reading. And so I think we're going to leave it there. In the last group I did pull a couple of Rider-Waite because I felt like we're kind of leaving things on a wonky note. So maybe we'll just give a quick shuffle to the Rider-Waite deck, and then also because I do find it very easy to read without having to think too hard about mushrooms. My mother recently told me that I have, whoa, maybe that's not something to share with the entire world. These two cards just flew out of the deck and hit the floor, so let's take those. So we've got the Three of Swords in reverse and the King of Cups in reverse. So now we've got the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups in reverse. So there's definitely something here about blocked emotions, emotionally unavailable, suppressed emotions, someone keeping themselves blocked off to you, perhaps being in their ego energies and just not doing that work. It could also be manipulative, going back to the Magician in reverse. There could be some manipulation happening. That's for you to decide if that applies to your situation. Hi kitty cat, what's going on? That's the other cat, the black one. I know you want to go out and hunt, but we're not going to go outside now. So I'm just looking for the card in my Three of Swords reversed is what it sounds like it would be, wanting to end the separation, wanting to apologize or communicate. So I would say they're wanting to apologize about having blocked emotions or for having manipulated a situation in the past. If they've got something to apologize for, you're probably aware of that. But it might even be as simple as being withdrawn or avoidant and, sort of running away from the work that they sense that they need to be doing. Again, I think the answer for your person is to pursue things they love. And I'm talking about activities, not you necessarily, but maybe also you. So, although the King of Cups seems to be coming out as a sort of doubling down of the avoidance energies, it looks to me as if they're wanting to address that with you and, bring that forward in an apology. They're wanting to end the separation. They're wanting to be closer with you, but it's definitely not easy for them, and it's not an overwhelming, like, yes, they're coming in. It's like there's a lot of resistance and hesitation here, but I think that is what they want. And so, will they go in there? That's the thing. We're going to pull a card for you out of the Sacred Rebels deck and see what you need to be focusing on right now. And two cards just popped out. I'm just going to take the top one. We've got Inspiration. Beautiful. An idea has captured your attention or will do so very soon. It may be a grand vision or the vague sense of something that could be. You're being encouraged to accept the vision, and it's important to your creative and spiritual growth. It is possible. The bee is bringing you healing, medicine, wisdom from nature to aid the message of the Oracle of Inspiration. The bee is a powerful spirit totem. The second cat just came into your reading. Interesting. Bees are able to fly with wings that are significantly small in proportion to their heavier bodies. They can do so because of the sheer speed with which their wings move. Your idea, even if it seems like a big, substantial plan that might be difficult to get off the ground and up and running, can succeed. You will attract helpers, great helpers to you, and the earth will support the success of this project, idea, or vision, because it is about helping the greater good, as well as, sorry, distracted by the cat, as well as to your own growth and development. When the Earth Mother lends you nature wisdom to support your healing and growth, you know you have an exceptionally powerful ally to your cause. Let this bring you confidence. If you've drawn the After the Storm card, if you have this deck, you might see if that card has come up for you recently or might do in the future. The message would be amplified. Allow inspiration to fill you with enthusiasm, an expectation of magic and marvelous synchronicity as people, situations, and opportunities fall into place to help bring your inspiration into reality. This idea has the potential to flower into so much more than you realize. It has great potential. It can become something that feeds and nourishes others on their creative and personal healing paths too. It has the quality of a mission. Just gonna pull that right back out there. My dear Star Keeper. It has the quality of a mission. Where were we? And is so much more than one singular idea. When an inspiration comes from the greater creative intelligence of the universe, even when it makes itself known as an idea coming through a human source, all that is needed to bring it into being will be available at the right time. For the human channel of the idea, it is just a matter of being open, receptive, trusting, and enthusiastic about what has come through. Everything required for each step will be naturally attracted to support the success of the project according to divine timing. The healing process below will help you manifest the support needed for your inspiration to take flight. You are a vehicle for inspiration. You are meant to think and do things differently. You are capable of receiving fresh ideas that are not so out there or different that they stop being practical, helpful, and wonderful. You are being asked to avoid the trap of doubting your ideas are special or interesting enough. Your inspiration comes direct from the universal creative source, and you're being asked to believe and recognize the signature of great intelligence within your inspirational ideas and creative urges, and to act accordingly. To sum up, this card indicates that sweet success, like abundant honey, is coming your way through your commitment to and development of an idea that you have already had or will soon receive. See it through to the end. Believe. And here is the healing process for that card if you'd like to screen capture that. Alright, my friends, we've come to the end. Please do like the video. Don't forget to like. It's easy to click on to the next thing and forget to do that. I often find myself going back and making sure I click that like button because, if a person puts energy into doing a reading, I feel like it's, only polite. That's my feeling. You can do as you like. If you're not subscribed already, do subscribe, and that will both alert you to future readings and also help the channel to grow in the sense of being persuasive to others to do the same. And also comments, like even an emoji in the comments, like the number of comments I think helps the video get seen by others. And that's why I'm doing this, to connect with others and to offer something forth, and hopefully it connects with as many people as possible, or as many people as need to hear it. So thank you for helping connect others to what they need to hear by liking, subscribing, and commenting on the video. I really appreciate it, and thank you for being here until the very end. And cats, there's something in the cats for you. They've both come through. This is the, I won't say less affectionate one, he's still very affectionate, but he's a little more blocked in his affection seeking, shall we say. So maybe he's calling up this King of Cups and Queen of Cups in reverse energy, just to close out your reading. Okay, bye Pile 3. Take care.